Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. In this Dragonkin The Banished video, I want to talk to you about my time after 80 hours played, and I have officially beat the game with the Oracle class. All 80 hours were primarily spent playing the Oracle. I was AFK a little bit here and there, so, maybe 75 to 80 hours it took me to beat Dragonkin The Banished. Now, what's it mean to beat Dragonkin The Banished? And what's after you beat it? What's the true endgame look like? And is it worth your time? Let's go ahead and jump in the game and talk about it right now. Went ahead and jumped into the game here. You can see my city is level 18 and my Oracle is level 50. Let's go ahead and fire it up. The city is kind of a cool mechanic because it does share everything account-wide, all your city bonuses, crafting stuff that you've unlocked, everything like that. That is all account-wide and for all of your characters. Now, your wormling levels that you can unlock here, or level up, whatever, these are not shared across characters. Your dragon armor is not shared across characters. Your hunting board is not shared across characters. Literally, the only thing that's shared across your characters is your city and your city upgrades. So while you can level up a little bit quicker on alts and things like that, some of these other unlocks are just not account-wide. So that felt kind of bad for playing an alt. I originally was going to level up the Knight class and the Barbarian as well, but after 80 hours of the Oracle, I think I've had about enough of Dragonkin. I want to go ahead and just talk about the process of leveling up and getting to end game and then what that all entails. So hopefully you can decide if this game is worth picking up now or maybe waiting for a future update. So when you very first start Dragonkin, you have the choice to either skip to the end game if you want to, or you can actually play through the story. I recommend doing whatever sounds the most fun to you. If you do want to actually skip the story, you can create a new character. You can click on new group and you can do the story in the prologue, just the story, and then after the story you'll unlock the end game. Or you can skip it all and go straight to the end game. Now, if you choose to do that, I think either way is completely fine. Maybe if it's your first time playing, maybe you want to play through the story. It's entirely up to you, honestly. Either way, it's going to be about the same of what we're going to talk about right now. Max character level in Dragonkin is level 50. Getting there takes quite some time. Now, the big draw of Dragonkin here is the skill grid system. And I actually have a video covering the skill grid system and how it all kind of works. Make sure you check it out after this video. But what this is you have skills and you can attach modifiers to them. You can see these have different rarities. I have an uncommon modifier, I have a legendary, I have a rare, I even have a mythical modifier. Now, early in the game, you're not going to have access to all of these rarities. In fact, gear rarities are locked behind character levels. You can see right here Muppets over on the Dragonkin Discord. I think we've given him a shout out before as well. Make sure you check him out. But here it is with your gear. When you very first start out, you're going to be getting a lot of common gear. And common gear is very boring and not exciting at all. You'll eventually unlock blue gear, which is uncommon. This starts at level 10. Again, not very exciting at all. At level 20, you will start to see rare, which is green armor. It's a little bit more exciting because you're actually seeing more attribute or more stat modifiers, whatever you want to call them, rolling on the gear. So it's a little bit exciting. Now at level 30, you can start to see legendary items drop. Now legendary items are a little bit more exciting because they have talent points on them. I'm going to show you what that means here in a minute. But the last rarity you have here is mythical, and these unlock at level 45. Now, to get to level 45 takes quite some grinding, and it is very slow, and I feel as though new players will be turned off pretty quickly from the game before they even get to that point. And on top of this, there's also difficulty requirements to unlock these different rarities. It tells you in game exactly what's what. Well, part of the game that I thought would be interesting is on top of these rarities, you can also roll Draconic, and you can also have these items roll Divine. Now, any rarity can roll Draconic, and any rarity can roll Divine. I'll show you what this looks like in the game. I guess I don't actually have any Draconic gear because it's just not that interesting anyway, but basically what it is, it's going to give you, it's going to like corrupt your gear, so you're going to get 2 buffs, and then you're also going to get a debuff. So basically, you can get like more damage, but maybe you're losing armor or resistance or something like that. It's 2 good things and then a negative. And then now the Divine is a little bit more interesting. It's basically greater affixes from Diablo 4. It's just you have a higher roll on there. So here's a mythical item with no draconic, no divine, nothing like that. And then you can see here is a mythical divine item, which has it happen to roll gold bonus, which is not what I want at all, because currently, at least I don't know of any gold sink in the game. If anyone knows the best way for me to spend gold in this game, please let me know, because, I mean, I have 80 hours and I haven't discovered the gold sink, so maybe it's hidden somewhere I just haven't seen yet. And then you got a divine rare item here that rolled a crit chance, which is nice, but it's a green item, so it's pretty trash. Now, the divine part of gear, I never saw a single one drop until I hit level 50, which is the level cap. Now, once you're level 50, it seems like divines just drop all the time. I mean, they're not rare at all, which is, it's fine. It's whatever it is, but divine items are very common. Now, I mentioned talent points earlier. This is a little bit, probably the most interesting part with itemization is you have legendary, you'll get 1 talent point on, and then when you get mythicals, they'll have 2 talent points on. And basically all these is they're different, kind of think of legendary powers, but you can get up to 3 ranks of them. So for example, I have heroism here, a rank 3. Basically what heroism is going to do is after you use a certain amount of non-basic skills, the character will release a wave of energy and it deals damage. Now, 1 point gets me to rank 1, and then I need 2 more points, so 3 points total for rank 3, then a whole nother 3, so 6 total points, and you'll be at rank 3. So if you're doing the math, that's 3 mythics, but you also, at level 45, you can start finding amulets, and they have no itemization to them other than literally just the talent points. Missed opportunity, if you ask me. The talent points is interesting, but, you know, it's just not interesting enough for me personally. Another note on itemization, and we noticed this in the demo, is there is item score in this game. And item scores, whatever, I look past it, I look at the actual stats on there to compare for upgrades, and that's there, but it just feels distracting having that score and the up and down and plus signs. It's distracting, really. I'd like to just see the score removed, but that's not really the problem for me. The problem for me is the fact that you have these different rarities. Now, the difference from legendary to mythic, the power is absolutely insane. You could have a perfectly rolled legendary item and a really trash rolled mythical, and it's still more than likely going to be an upgrade. Just even the base armor on there alone is probably going to be enough so that you can get into the higher difficulties. Now, the mythical items being way more powerful than legendary, you know, it's not really an issue for me. That makes sense. It is a higher rarity, blah, blah, blah. It's more rare, stuff like that. The problem for me is from going from level 30 to 45, there's really not much in-game, like, true content to do. I mean, you're going to see all the same hunts over and over, the same bosses. You're going to see it all. But it is an action RPG, so it's repetitive, it's fine. I guess probably the most interesting content part is pushing up and seeing more modifiers on elite packs and how to kind of outgame those. But for me, the problem is getting from level 30 to 45 is just really a big stretch. I think mythical should start dropping at level 40 or something like that. I don't even know. I don't even like rarities being tied behind character level, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and talk about what the end game actually looks like. That's loot and itemization, and that was a huge thing that's just been on my mind. I'm glad to be able to talk about it with you. Let's go ahead and look at hunts. So this is the end game right here. Once you beat the story, I mean, you're not going to be that high a level. I think you might be level 20, maybe 23. I don't really remember because the story was so short. I think the story took me about 4 to 6 hours to beat. And then you're immediately thrown into the hunting board. Now, this is the end game system. And there's 2 different types of hunts you can do. There's the board hunts, and this is going to be your main source of progression, your meta progression here, basically. As you go through here, you're going to unlock new types of game modes or content that you can run in your chaos hunts that we'll talk about in a moment. You can also unlock character upgrades as well. You can see over here, you can get a permanent toxic resistance bonus. The resistance bonuses you can unlock on here is a whole big 3% resistance bonus. You can get movement speed, which is huge. You can also unlock augmentations. So augmentations are going to tie into not only chaos hunts, but as well as your board hunts. Now, I really liked the hunting board because it gave me a sense of like what left really there is to do, kind of a visual. I can look at this and you can look at it and we can see I've completed every single board hunt that there is. So at this point, what is there to do? Well, you have chaos dungeons that you can do, and you can customize these pretty extensively. You can do just a simple dungeon run. You can do up to 4 whole area hunts. This one would take probably about an hour to complete. There's intense dungeon or variable. I don't know what the difference is. You can also choose your biomes. Now this is really cool because there's materials in the game you can use for crafting. You can target farm them based on the biomes. But one of the biomes that you need for dragon armor is the plains. And you cannot pick the plains in your chaos dungeon. Really frustrating and annoying to me. You can also pick your final enemy. You can do random, which I wouldn't recommend doing because oftentimes the final objective you're going to have is to like leave the area or something like that. Just something that really doesn't feel like you've finished a hunt. But you can choose the Toxic Lord, which is a pretty fun boss fight. Won't spoil it for you. Or you can do an Elite Dragon, which you'll probably kill in 3 to 5 hits. Not very exciting. I usually do random in hopes that it'll give me one of the really cool boss fights. There's like 4 maybe cool boss fights. Other than that, it's typically just like a dragon at the very end of the hunt that you kill real quick. And then down here, these are your types of rewards. This is my favorite part of the chaos hunts, is choosing my rewards. There's material drops, equipment drops, fragments, which is for your skill grid that we talked about, and quality. Not exactly sure what this does. I assume it's higher like rarity on items or whatever. You can also choose your difficulty. We kind of touched on this earlier, and we're not going to go in depth with this. Currently, the highest difficulty is Calamity 1, and I'm clearing it pretty effectively. I do die sometimes from some, you know, cheap elite modifiers or whatever. The combat's just what you'd expect in any action RPG. Last but not least, you can use augmentations to customize these chaos hunts as well as your board hunts, and these are going to give you buffs for the duration there of whatever hunt you're doing. Now remember, you can unlock more of these augmentations through completing these board objectives. I have them all unlocked, and here's all the ones you can get. Bonus XP, movement speed, gold. You can do a dodge and you drop a flask. This one's pretty useless. You can get kind of like a second life. Usually I forget when it procs and then end up dying anyway. You can get fragment drops. You know, it's cool that you can kind of customize your rewards in that sense. Other than that, you really have leveling up your city, which I talked about in the beginning of the video. And again, I have a video covering all the city upgrades and the priority I would take and all the upgrades you can get in the game. Make sure you check that out after this video. But this levels up so slow that it really is just very tedious to do. Other than that, you kind of have your world. You have different zones you can teleport around to. You're going to have it all memorized within probably 30 hours of playing the game. At the end of the day, I was planning to level up the other 2 classes, but I've decided I'm going to shelf Dragonkin after 80 hours of playing. I've enjoyed my 80 hours. I can't say I'd recommend picking up the game right now. I would probably wait for an update so that if you do spend 80 hours of your own time playing Dragonkin, you'll maybe feel a little bit more like your time was respected. Maybe you'll feel that a little bit more than I did. But I mean, I did play the game for 80 hours, and like, I don't force myself to play games. If I'm not having fun, I quit playing them. So there was clearly something there that kept me going. Now, once I beat that very last final hunt, that was like the peak of my excitement. I was like, I beat Dragonkin, and I really felt no need to continue on. Now, later down the line, there's more things coming to Dragonkin, such as crafting and some other fun things that perhaps will make itemization a little bit more interesting. But currently, I really don't feel the need to grind for mythical items, divine, and I don't feel the need for any of that. So at the end of the day, I would recommend waiting on Dragonkin The Banished. Wait for the next big content update. But hey, that's just one man's opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you're playing Dragonkin and what you think about the game. And that's going to wrap it up for this Dragonkin The Banished review video after 80 hours played of the Oracle class. Hopefully you found this video useful and or entertaining. If so, don't forget that like button and subscribe to the channel if you think I've earned it. Please consider becoming a YouTube channel member today. Unlock some pretty fun perks such as behind the scenes, early access to videos when I release a whole big batch, and bloopers that I find while editing. I also started doing a podcast that our channel members are loving. I'm calling it the Beard Chat, and it's during the day if I have time. During my daily beard routine, I'll sit down, do my routine while I talk about games with y'all. Our channel members are absolutely loving it. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel member page and pick up a channel membership today. But don't forget, your view alone means the absolute world. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.